What's up, guys? It's Benny. January 6th was yesterday, the single day out of the year where Democrats pretend to be in favor of federal law enforcement, but today is January 7th, so they can go back to demonizing law enforcement and threatening their lives like they do every single time the federal law enforcement tries to enforce the law in a Democrat city or a blue state. Here's disgraced governor of Minneapolis, Minnesota, calling ICE the Gestapo.
Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. They're in unmarked vans, wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons.
Okay. Where do you think that rhetoric is going to lead? Well, a woman is now dead in Minneapolis. Because of rhetoric like that, this woman tried to run over an ICE agent who was standing in the street right in front of her. She peeled out with multiple ICE agents around her. This is obviously illegal. She was being instructed to get out of the vehicle. Instead, she rammed the ICE officers, and allegedly she had a firearm in her vehicle. She was shot dead by ICE. I'll show you the footage here in just a moment. Woman has been shot and killed by ICE, Homeland Security said. Domestic terrorism. The unidentified woman was shot after trying to ram the officers in an attempt to kill them during ICE's operation in Minneapolis. DHS said she weaponized her vehicle while attempting to run over law enforcement officers. The federal agency called her actions an act of domestic terrorism. Today, ICE officers in Minneapolis were conducting a targeted operation when rioters began blocking ICE officers, and one of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over our law enforcement officer and kill them. An act of domestic terrorism. True. An ICE officer, fearing for his life and the lives of his fellow enforcement and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. He used his training and saved his own life and that of his fellow officers. The alleged perpetrator was hit and is deceased. The ICE officers were hurt, but expect to make a full recovery. This is the direct consequence of constant attacks, demonization of our officers by sanctuary politicians who fuel and encourage rampant assaults on our law enforcement officials who have seen an 8,000% increase in death threats. This is an evolving situation. Okay. So let's do a couple of things here. Let's show you the direct evidence of what happened. This is the moment. So I'm going to break down this video, and let's do it very carefully here. So according to the official story, there was an ICE vehicle stuck in the snow, no pun intended, and other ICE vehicles, seemingly unmarked in Minneapolis, showed up to help. The vehicle was surrounded then by protesters who started blocking their way and attacking them, throwing things at them and stuff like that. I have video of that. You can see it. Then you can see this woman right here in the SUV. She was one of the protesters, and she was blocking the cars. The agents approach her vehicle and ask her to get out of the vehicle. I'm just going to play you the full clip here, and then we'll break it down. So here you can see her refuse an order from a federal officer. Get out of the effing car, they said. He comes and approaches the car. Multiple ICE agents have surrounded the car, and they are actually touching the vehicle. He has his hand on the door. That's when the woman punches the gas, peels out, and there is an ICE agent you can see there stepping out of the way, barely avoiding being run over. You can see that. You can see the ICE agents go flying right there. And this is when the discharge of the weapon happened due to the fact that this ICE agent was being targeted by the vehicle.
Oh my fucking God!
Sounds like
no! Shame!
1, 2,
Shame!
3 shots.
Oh my fucking God!
3 shots were fired. Now let's go ahead and see it from another angle here. So as you can see here is the vehicle once again speeds off. And here you can see again, the ICE agent right there in front of the vehicle jumps out of the way from the vehicle, and they are the ones who discharge their weapon, the one who's right in front of the vehicle.
What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck?
This is now leading to abject and total unrest throughout Minneapolis. The law be damned, by the way. We looked it up just in case you're wondering if you can run over a federal agent. No, you can't. Anyone who threatens to assault, attempts, conspires to kidnap, murder, or injure any person or immediate family member shall be punished. And it's like pretty obvious you're not allowed to assault or threaten to assault any member of the federal government, including federal law enforcement. So pretty severe punishments for that. Obviously, you could land 20 years of imprisonment for this. This would be influencing, impeding, or retaliating against federal officials. Right here, just one of the many sections you could be charged with for doing this. Obviously, again, you are not allowed to ram federal officials with your car. Nonetheless, there is major unrest now in Minneapolis. There is a lot of people that are throwing snowballs and hitting federal agents.
Portland, and this is where we were told that you see some snowballs being thrown at officers and that type of thing. That happening as we speak. This is a live picture you are viewing with us, but you can see some of the agents.
Degenerate filth.
Figure out where ice is now, because there's no ice here. In my opinion, we are not mad enough.
What is wrong with people in Minneapolis? What is wrong with these people? Guys are getting pepperballed, like right in the face. That is very spicy, right there. And things I think will descend even further in Minneapolis as the leaders of Minneapolis will obviously use this. And by the way, this was an anti-ICE legal observer who was trying to run over ICE like a terrorist. Yeah. Woman tried to flee. Law enforcement tried to run them over in a vehicle. She had no pulse when she was transported to the hospital. So, I'm aware of the shooting. This is the mayor of of Minneapolis. I'm aware of the shooting. ICE, the presence of federal immigration enforcement agents, is causing chaos in our city. We're demanding that ICE leave the city immediately. We stand rock solid with the immigrant and refugee community. So he's going to be standing with the terrorists. Got it. Okay, so they're in favor of the terrorists. They're standing with the terrorists. The woman is deceased. It is actually the politicians who called ICE Gestapo who need to be resigning in disgrace. A mob has now formed at the shooting scene. And if you don't want to get shot, then maybe don't attack ICE. Somali bootlicking Mayor Jacob Fry said ICE raids will get someone killed. Well, yes, the terrorists who rammed ICE vehicles. Kristi Noem explained this. She's at an event in Texas, and she commented on this. I'll leave you with Kristi Noem's comments right here.
There, you asked about a shooting that we just had in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened, it was our ICE officers were out in enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased. We're continuing to gather more information, but this goes to show the assaults that our ICE officers and our law enforcement are under every single day. These vehicle rammings are domestic acts of terrorism. We're working with the Department of Justice to prosecute them as such. We will continue to protect our ICE officers and in cooperation with other law enforcement agencies as well. You've seen me in the last couple of days deploy over 2,000 more officers to the Minneapolis area. And in the last 2 days, we've arrested hundreds and hundreds of dangerous criminals, not just fraudsters who stole from the American people billions of dollars and put it in their pockets and enriched their friends from overseas and themselves, but also individuals who committed acts of murder and rape and trafficking and drug exploitation and child exploitation. So we're going to continue to do our work.
Minneapolis.